Welcome everybody to Cindy Certified Recipes. You know, these days I think we're all looking for ways to lower that grocery bill, yet not sacrifice having a great meal. So today I'm going to show you how a few pantry staples can come together and make that great meal. But before we get to that, I would sure appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. It helps me bring you great recipes like these, and also that notification bell so you get first dibs on all my upcoming videos. Now let's start cooking. This meal I'm talking about today is garlic shrimp pasta. And one of the things that's really nice to add to your pantry staples is a bag of frozen shrimp. And just about any size you can make this dish. And I find that these shrimp here, I normally get them at Costco and they come in this huge bag. And I'll take out like a third of each bag and then separate them into Ziploc bags or some other type of freezer bag. And then so I have so many put away in the freezer and I can just take one of those out. And you actually don't even have to thaw them in advance. You can just put them under cold water. Just make sure that you dry them really well. And they do come with the shells. And so I could actually make 4 servings out of this amount of shrimp that I have here, because you're going to have pasta and probably some kind of veggie or a salad. Along with that, maybe even garlic bread or some fluffy rolls or something like that. So I've taken the shell off most of these. And what I like about these particular shrimp that I get from Costco is that they've already had, even though they have the shells on, they are already deveined. And so all you have to do is pull that, excuse me, pull that off. And when I do shrimp pasta, I don't like the tails left on, so I will pull that whole thing off like that. And into the bowl they go. And I just wanted to show you, a lot of us will throw these shells away. And in the future, I will make a video on what to do with these. But they make a great stock that you can freeze and you can use for a ton of different recipes. But today I'm not going to be doing that. I just wanted to show you, that these, to get even more bang out of your shrimp buck, you could make a great stock out of these. And we'll do that sometime, but not today. And so I got one more shrimp here I just wanted to show you. Like I said, they're already deveined, so you're just pulling that shell off and you just grab it by the tail and it comes right off. In goes the shell, in goes the shrimp, and that's all done. And with this dish, you want to do your prep work in advance, because once you get to the stove, it all goes pretty fast, which is great for like a weeknight meal. So do all your prep work in advance and you'll be happy you did that. So I'll get these guys out of the way. And so let's bring these back and just kind of spread them around. And I'm going to salt and pepper them. And I actually like to use garlic salt. You can use regular salt if you want, but I like to use garlic salt because it just adds to that garlic flavor that we're looking for. And I put about a teaspoon in this little dish here, but I'm just going to sprinkle that around. Okay, we'll be adjusting salt and pepper also once we get over to the stove. And here's about a teaspoon of black pepper too. I'm just going to put on there. And we're just going to smush those around here. Set those aside. And one of the other things we're going to be using in this dish in the cooking process and after they're done is parsley. And I like to buy Italian flat leaf parsley. To me, it's just easier to work with than that curly stuff. So I got just like a little bunch here. This is about a quarter of the bunch that I purchased. And we're just going to cut that into little pieces. I've already washed it and dried it. There we go. I'm going to be putting that back in this little bowl here. Take over to the stove. Oops. See, I'm telling you, I always make a mess. My husband jokes I should have changed the name of my channel to The Messy Cook. Another thing I feel pretty strongly about is grating your own cheese. If you've watched any of my past videos, you heard me telling you, about how pre-shredded cheese has a lot of potato starch or even wood cellulose and all other kinds of things you really don't want to eat. And it also changes the way that the cheese melts. And so I'm a big proponent of grating your own cheese, especially with Parmesan, because you want that stuff to melt really nice. And you get that pre-shredded stuff, it's not going to melt very well. So I've already shredded most of this, and so I'm just going to squeeze a little more here. My little shredder here is a little old, so it creaks a little bit. You might hear that creaking. There we go. So we got a nice bunch of Parmesan going on there. And next we're going to do our garlic, and it's garlic shrimp pasta. So we want some nice garlic. And you've probably heard my past videos too. I can always complain about the size of garlic. Well, yesterday I was at the farmer's market and they had beautiful, gorgeous garlic. So there's our garlic, and I'm going to get my little shredder. And depending what I make, sometimes I'll chop it or mince it or use my little cradle. And today we're going to shred it. And so we're just going to get our little shredder here, and you got to be careful of your fingers. So start shredding that on there, grating it. I'll end up with a little piece of garlic I won't be using because I get chicken when my fingers get too close. And for this dish, I would use, if you have nice big garlic cloves like this, I would use anywhere from 5 to 8 cloves, depending on how garlicky you want it. I have 5 here, and then I've added the garlic salt to the shrimp. So it just depends how much garlic you like to use. But I find when I use the garlic salt on the shrimp, that 5 nice big cloves like these is the ticket. That's good. So that's probably, looking at that, that's probably a nice tablespoon of garlic right there. And if you wanted to, you could take these little remnants and chop them up. I just leave them because I like this grated stuff. So now we're going to take all of our beautiful ingredients here and head over to the stove. All right, you guys, we're back here at the stove, and I have all my ingredients laid out here. I'm going to get this pan heated up. And you want it on medium-low to start, not too hot. And I wanted to tell you, because these ingredients come together so fast, that I pre-did I used linguine. You don't have to use linguine, but I just think it goes great with this particular dish. And so I cooked that in advance, al dente, and I put a little olive oil on it, keep it from sticking together. And so that's sitting there ready to go in when we are at that point. And so we're going to start off by putting in, about a half a stick of butter. And I got to tell you, while we're waiting for that to melt, and I've told you before, my husband is in the military, and we lived all over. But it's funny because in the East Coast, they have long sticks of butter. And in the West Coast, the sticks of butter are fatter, but they're shorter. So I always find that a peculiarity. It's one of those weird things. So anyway, we're going to let that continue to melt here. And per usual, I always like to use a high-fat butter, 82% or higher. And I realize, believe me, after living in all these different places, sometimes you can't find all these things. So just use what you like or what you can find, and it'll still taste great. I'm going to go ahead and just put our garlic in there. Let it get introduced to that butter. And you just want to cook that a minute or so. You're not looking to brown the garlic. You're just trying to take that raw flavor out of it. I wanted to show you also, sometimes people ask, and this is my particular favorite pasta when I can find it. It's from Italy, and I think it holds together really well. But again, there too, any pasta will work. I just want to show you what my particular favorite is. We got it all nice and bubbly here. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. And I'm going to add in my other half a stick of butter. And that's been sitting here, so it's actually room temperature. Doesn't have to be, just wanted to tell you that's why it looked so soft. Can bring that back up to the same bubbliness we had there prior. Here it comes. And you see when you shred that garlic, it's nice and fine in there. Very nice. Okay. I have a little bit of a Chardonnay here that I like to use for this. And we're going to use about a 1/4 cup. And then let that reduce slightly. You're just looking for that alcohol to burn off a little bit, so this doesn't take very long. I can tell that's already gone down a little bit. And now we're going to add about a cup of cream. And what's great about this recipe is you can adjust it to how much sauce you want. If you want just a little bit of sauce, you can back off on all these. If you want a lot more sauce in your finished product, you can add even more. And then an interesting little kick to this is just a dash of soy sauce, and I prefer this particular fermented soy sauce. To me, it's a little milder than some of those other ones, so you just want a dash. Do not overdo the soy sauce. But it's amazing how just that little dash adds so much flavor. We're going to bring that back up to temp. And then I'm going to squeeze in, not this whole half, but just maybe a teaspoon of lemon juice. And you know what's next? Putting in that shrimp. You're going to turn up your heat here, and you're just cooking these until they are pink all the way through. And you know another little trick with these big shrimp in particular, if you wanted to spread this out even more over more people, you could actually cut these shrimp in half lengthwise, and it looks like you got twice as much shrimp. Once these have started to get more pink and I turn them over, I'm going to be adding some of my Parmesan cheese, and then we're going to add more Parmesan cheese later. See how quickly those turn pink? Super fast. And there's so many shrimp recipes out there. That's why having these in your freezer as what I consider to be a staple is such a good thing to have. Those are all turned over. And I'm going to add in some of our Parmesan cheese. And some of our parsley. Give that a stir. Already looking and smelling out of this world. Technically, those shrimp are cooked already, if you can believe it. And so once I get this stirred, in goes the pasta. So you can see this comes together lightning speed. And I'm going to turn that heat down and start mixing my pasta in here. And that pasta is going to soak up some of that sauce. So that's what I'm saying is, if you want more sauce, use more of those liquids. If you want less sauce, use less of those liquids. Whoops, I just lost a shrimp. Man overboard, shrimp overboard. Okay, look at that, you guys. Okay, gonna add in a little more Parmesan. And I'm gonna put this on the table for everybody to put more on as they would like. Now I'm going to turn the heat off now because this has plenty of heat going on. And when I plate this, I will use my reserved parsley to put on top, along with a little extra cheese. And there we go. That is ready to go on plates, you guys. See how fast that was? I mean, that was fast. Let's go plate it up. We're gonna plate up this delicious meal here. And so we're just gonna get a little bit of pasta. And you can be as creative as you like, or just plop it on a plate. So the whole point is to feed your family, right? So put another shrimp on there. There we go. And then a little more cheese, like that. And some pretty parsley, like that. And it looks fantastic. And now we're gonna eat it. Twirl it on your fork. These are big shrimp, you guys. So I'll try to get a little bit of noodles and take a bite of a shrimp. Okay. delicious, quick, easy, economical, and look how many people you could feed with that. And like I said, you can even cut them in half and double it. There you go. Give it a shot, you guys. You won't be disappointed. And remember, if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends and family, and hit that like button. Check out my other playlists. I do have a seafood playlist also. And we'll see you next time on Sydney Certified Recipes. Whether a weeknight dinner or a special occasion, this dish is always a winner. And as always, if it's time tested, top-notch ingredients, and the talk of the table, it's Sydney Certified.